Thank you for joining our next video. So we'll be continuing from chapter 3 to chapter 4. And the book is again called Life in the Multiverse. And it's by Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. And we have Kamaljeet over here who will be going through chapter 4, and she'll be answering some questions I have. And yeah, give us some more insights. So welcome, Kamaljeet. How are you doing today?
Good, Vani. Thank you. Yeah, so we are talking about time in the Brahman today.
Yes. So this chapter has all the numbers, and I'm not sure if sharing in detail will help our audiences. But please share about the various yogas.
Yeah, the various time of various yugas. Yes, time of various ages that the cyclic time has gone by.
Yeah.
And it is complex, and there are too many numbers in this.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
highly recommend at this point of time that people definitely um, look at the book, try to read, download a free e-copy of the book from the website paramshanti.org.
Mm-hmm.
It will be very helpful to see the numbers and figures in front of you. There is detailed information about the
Mm-hmm.
dimension, comparative times on Earth. Many other things have been provided, so it will be helpful. So
Mm-hmm.
again, about the various yugas, we had discussed, that time in the Brahmand or the solar system. Uh, we discussed a little bit. We just introduced about the time in the, how does the time work,
Mm-hmm.
time dilation work, right? So let me begin by introducing the various yugas again, so that the first of the original yuga and when the formation had begun and the
Mm-hmm.
life was seen, it was the Satyug or the golden age at that time when the life had just begun. And then came the Treta Yuga. Then after this was the Dwapar Yuga, and lastly is the Kali Yuga. And this is the cyclical period of the Brahman. Like this keeps going, it goes on happening. There's one cycle, then there's another cycle of these four yugas. It
Mm-hmm.
again starts with the Satyug and ends with Kali Yuga. So right now, in fact, in our present time, they are saying that this is the Kali Yuga. This is towards the end of the time, cyclic time again. So,
Okay.
it keeps on happening. And then there is what happens after the four yugas have gone by.
Yeah.
There is a dissolution that happens, and it is called the Pralay. And then the cycle starts again. So the time period of Satyug, the first golden period where the age, was during the Satyug, the age of one human soul was about 100,000 years. Human life was 100,000 years. Because the souls were had so much of spiritual strength and power within themselves, and they were pure and pious in nature. Their minds were pure. So that is why, with that kind of purity and the purity of the elements, they could live up to so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the time period of the Earth years of the Satyug lasts about 1,728,000 years.
Okay.
And then comes the Treta Yuga. And human life here in this Treta Yuga was for about 10,000 years. And by human life, I mean that one can say that this was the average age of one person. And the number of years of this period that lasted, number of time, this Treta Yuga lasted was for 1,296,000 years. Then after the Treta Yuga, so first was the Satya Yuga, then was the
Yeah.
Treta Yuga, then one came into the Dwapar Yuga. And by this time, the purity of mind and of the human, soul
Mm-hmm.
was deteriorating, because the intention to desire more and more, to do more, the intentions were very different. People would make resolution to do this, and then their energy gets flowed out. Where the more
Mm-hmm.
you think, the more you lose your energy, because sometimes negativity pulls out. your energy. And it always does, not sometimes, it always does.
Yeah.
So then in the Dwapar Yuga, the average age of human life was 1000 years. Means in the Dwapar Yuga, that period, one person could live for about 1000 years. And the time period of this Dwapar Yuga on Earth was 864,000 years.
Okay.
And after the Dwapar Yuga comes the Kali Yuga. And here the average age of human life is about 100 years. That is the present time. A person can live, we have heard of some humans living up to 100 and a little beyond 100 too.
Yeah.
But generally average now has come down to about 70, 75, at least a human soul can live. So the time period of Kali Yuga on Earth, in Earth years, is about 432, 1000 years. So to understand this more clearly, why this thing happens and why the lifespan of humans deteriorates, one possible reason is more negativity that comes into the mind of the people, And initially, people were, like I said, they were very pure and very spiritual. So as the time went by, more and more impurity and negative thoughts have polluted the human mind, and the quality of the soul has deteriorated, and they have moved away from the truth of the Satyug and the original state of the soul. So they have moved away from that.
Yeah.
And so the total time period of the four yugas, that is the, 4 yugas, that is from Satyug to the Kalyug, it is called as one Chaturyug. These one cyclic time from
So, what are the 4 other dissolutions?
Yeah, then the next dissolution or the Pralay is after the completion of 71 Chaturyugs or 71 Yugantas. They also make up something that, these are like units of time that have been calculated as so you know that like as we discussed, that time really varies. And so what happens in the earth pralay, when the first dissolution occurs, it happens after the completion of 4 yugas. Like I said, it is one chaturyug, that is equal to one yugantar. And this is 4,320,000 years. It happens. This is the time period of that Earth Pralay when it takes place. And this action is done by Lord Shankar, and he is the prime deity of the Brahman, our Brahman, that is our solar system. And what happens in this is the sinful souls are subjected to death.
Okay.
And then after the Earth Pralay comes is the another Pralay, that this Pralay happens after the completion of 71 Chaturyugs. When 71 times the 4 yugas have gone by. And these 71 Chaturyugas are also, they also make up another unit that is called one Manvantar.
Okay.
This is called one Manvantar, or that is also equal to 71 Earth Pralay. 71 times that partial Pralay or the partial dissolution that took place by Lord Shankar. 71 times that has to have gone by.
Okay.
And so, it happens once every 308.5 million years. And this dissolution is occurred, where the whole, what happens in this, the entire earth is filled with water, is consumed by water. It is also known as the Jal Pralay. Jal means water. It is consumed by Jal or water and is called Jal Pralay. And this is the action of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is one of the prime deities of the Brahman or the solar system as well. You know, like when we were looking at the various dimensions. So,
Yeah.
there is the Vishnu Puri as well. And in this case, what happens? The whole creation on earth is destroyed, completely destroyed. And then after this Jal Pralay, what comes is the Kalpa Pralay. This is called the Kalpa Pralay.
Okay.
And this happens after completion of 1000 Chaturyugas, or also it is the 14 Manvantars. And these 14 Manvantars are equal to 1 day of Brahma. So you can imagine the difference in time. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
In the Brahman, like in the dimension of Brahma,
Yeah.
Lok, it is just 1 day. And whereas millions of years have gone by on Earth.
Right.
And the Kalp Pralay happens after completion of 1000 Chaturyugas. And we had also discussed that one Chaturyug is when one cyclic period has gone by. One cyclic period is 4 yugas: Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug, right? And so Kalp Pralay occurs after every 4.32 billion years.
Okay.
And who is the person, who is the Lord, the creator who does this? It is also carried out again by Lord Vishnu through extreme, what he does is he creates extreme temperature that is equal to the power of 12 suns. And during this period, the whole creation not only just simple, the tangible that we call the earth, the earth element itself,
Yeah.
the Bhulok, earth, Bhuvarlok, and the Swarglok, the heaven also gets burnt. So even the heaven gets destroyed in this process. So all the souls residing here, in the on earth itself, then on the dimension little above this level of our earth, that is called the Bhuvarlok, where our ancestors and all resides as well. And then beyond, there are certain other dimensions up to the Swarglok or the heaven. It is dissolved through extreme heat of the fire element. This is the Kalp Pralay.
Okay.
And then there is, we have already gone through 3. So 2 are left.
Yeah.
Then after this comes is the Mahakal Pralay.
Yeah.
So previous one was the Kalpa Pralay.
Yeah.
Then the Mahakal means beyond that. It is really much serious than the previous one.
There are definitely lots of numbers over here. So.
Yeah, so it is very important to look at the chart.
Yeah.
The chart, when you look at it, we will try to provide the chart, and I will see if I can create a template for, for one slide. At the end of the video, you can add it. And so 1 second of Mahashiv is equal to 100 years of Brahma, and which is equal to 2 Parad. And this is equal to 36,500 Kalpa Pralays. So many Kalpa Pralays have already happened to have this next major Mahakalp Pralay. And it happens in 311.04 trillion years, once in every 311.04 trillion years. And who is the medium for this dissolution, right? The creator Shiv enters into the sun of the Brahman and creates a tremendous fire. This fire is called Kal Agni, which engulfs the entire creation of the Brahman or the solar system inside it. And there are so many souls residing in the Brahman. So what happens here? So the whole Brahman, including the 14 lokas, dissolve, and all the souls created by Shiv are dissolved in the extreme fire of Shiv. So this is called the Mahakal Pralay. And then after this is another one which is called as Mahakal Pralay. And this Mahakal Pralay happens 1 second of Param Mahashiv, every 1 second of Param Mahashiv. So, and this 1 second of Param Mahashiv is equal to 10,000 years of Mahashiv. So, like we have said, there are different creators of different levels of the solar system, and then there are other systems, higher realms. So each of the, when you're looking at the level of hierarchy of the creator, so then there is Shiv, and then beyond the creator of Shiv is Mahashiv, and the creator of Mahashiv is Param Mahashiv. So 1 second of Param Mahashiv is equal to 10,000 years of Mahashiv. So this is when the mahakal Pralay occurs. And this is a huge number, which it's a huge number when the time cycle that has gone by.
Yeah, I can't even fathom all of this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to describe it. But it is, like we discussed in the Mahakal Pralay, the time period of the Mahakal Pralay, and we multiply that by 315.36 billion years, then you will get to the Mahakal Pralay period, cycle period. And now, how does it happen, and who is the medium for this Mahakal Pralay? So Mahashiv becomes Mahakal and creates tremendous fire and absorbs infinite solar systems into itself. And what happens to the souls?
The previous one was only one solar system.
Yeah. So absorb here, yeah, the previous one was only with the Brahmand or the solar system. Now this is, in this he can consume entire, many solar systems within himself. All solar systems or Brahmands dissolve. So all the creation of Shiv and Mahashiv end in this Pralay. So all this ends. Right? So this was huge, and I will try and prepare a slide for this so that it becomes a little bit easier to understand. But again, like I said, we recommend reading the book and look at the chapters in the book so that yeah. So.
So my next question would be, how many times has this already elapsed in the solar system since its creation by its creator?
Yeah. So, as per Hindu calculations, second parad is in progress, and it is the first day of the second parad, and it is the 7th Manvantar. In this first day of the second parad, presently it is Kali Yuga of the 28th Yugantar, and 5,118 years of Kali Yuga have gone. 5,118 years of Kali Yuga have gone by.
Yeah.
And Bapuji, according to his book, as he has interpreted and explained in his book, he says that if one estimates since the beginning of our solar system, it will be 155.5 trillion, 20 billion, 980 million years. One can imagine its position in time, space, and dimension of this creation. These are astronomical numbers, hard to
blowing my mind.
It's just mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. So I hope I was not too boring for our viewers, because there's so much of one has to listen and read, to understand this, even to grasp.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of understanding that needs to be had, and then just like explaining it over a video and like kind of trying to condense the chapter. It's you definitely need to read the chapter to understand exactly what he's explaining.
And I really apologize if there have been any errors in between. I've tried my best. And like I said, I am also learning. In the beginning, I also mentioned that I am also learning, and this book has intrigued me quite a bit. And so I thought it's good to share it, like for other people to get an insight and then go from there,
Yeah.
look into the book.
Okay. Well, I'm very grateful for you sharing and like taking the time out to really just do this. Thank you everyone for watching today. My name is Vani again. Thank you, Kamaljeet, for this, for explaining all of this. And we'll see you on the next video. That'll be we'll be doing chapter 6 then.
Yeah, we will try to cover a few chapters together.
Right.
I think that will be helpful because again, the following chapters are very detailed. And we'll go from there. We'll try to cover at least some chapters on at least 2-3 next chapters we can cover up together. Let's see.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody.